You are now listening to ForAllNerds Show, a podcast about geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. ForAllNerds is hosted by DJ BenHaMeen and Tatiana King Jones. ForAllNerds Show is a member of the Loudspeakers Network, where we always say rest in peace to our founder, Combat Jack.
ForAllNerds Show is powered by our listeners. Everything we do, from our podcasts, live events, our website, are all independently funded. Please continue to support us through our Patreon page at patreon.com/ForAllNerds.
Welcome to the Fan Bros, the show where the bros are fans. Doodle.
And what's up, y'all, and welcome to another episode of the ForAllNerds Show. The voice of the urban geek, the podcast where we discuss geek culture according to people of color. And as always, it's your boy, DJ BenHaMeen, a.k.a. Halal Jordan, Lucius Lionel, Bernie Slanders, Buzz Ouchia, Quantum Leech, Chris Ragnarok, Lando Californication, Patrick Swaley, Toss a Coin to Your Ninja. We here.
And the coldest. Oh my God. Oh my God. But besides that, some of the coldest AKAs I've ever heard in my life.
Thank you very much. And as always, as you hear and see, I am joined by
Tatiana King, the Grand Duchess of Tech, also known as Flex Luthor, Ned Slanders, Gucci Mandalorian, Jay Prince of All Saiyans, Dame Diner Dash, Chance the Parapper, Lord of Lightsabers, and the Ting of the North.
And we are here back on the spaceship. New Rory and Mom. No, today has been a day out here in these internet. Shout outs to the Joe Budden podcast. You know, normally we discuss geek and pop culture, so we're not going to talk about this too long, but oh my God. It was just interesting to me. Like, I was listening to it. Everybody knows, or if you don't know, Joe Budden fired his co-host Rory and Maul on the podcast today. People were hitting us up today like, yo, I'm glad my favorite podcasters don't have beef and actually respect each other. True.
Well, we respect each other for sure, but sometimes we have beef. But
slight,
it's
yeah. I wouldn't call it beef. Yeah, I would never
call
say
it like more
disagreements.
Yeah, what's below beef? Ground turkey. Like,
veal.
We have some ground turkey
some
stuff,
veal.
but because we respect each other and love each other and all that other stuff. Like, this is my brother, so we talk through it, or if we need to get away from each other for a minute, we get away.
We've had the therapy episodes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we get away, we think about it, we come back, have the conversation, and we come to an understanding. So
yeah.
I'm glad y'all recognize that.
Facts. But Joe Budden, fired his two co-hosts, Rory and Maul, today. It was just interesting to me. I listened to the podcast. I, managed to get my hands on it. That's how it happens. And
he is a DJ, folks.
There's always ways.
You heard that new.
Yeah. And shout out to You Heard That New, man. Damn, I missed them days. But yeah, so Joe went off, and it was just interesting to me because I come from the Combat Jack show, rest in peace, rest in power to my brother Combat Jack. And we used to go through all that same ish. We never got the moolah that Joe and them are seeing right now, but we used to talk about the moolah and what we would do. And hearing that word splits, when they started talking about the splits, I was like, yo.
And there was 11 niggas on y'all show. So
facts. The splits were always
if someone
tight.
got 20, if one person got $20, you had to split it like 11 ways. And it's like, that shit is, especially living in New York, that is not the fucking business. So
it was a lot going on.
Yeah.
But, we made it, legendary Combat Chat show, always, respect the architects.
Yeah.
And shout out to Joe, Rory, and Maul. Hope y'all pull it together, get it right over there, because, I enjoy y'all when y'all do your album reviews, and, other times y'all got some good jokes and stuff every now and again. So,
but Ben, you said something interesting just about, like, you said that even before the money came in or ever came in, y'all were having those conversations. I from my understanding, it's always when the money comes into play, big money, significant money comes.
Well,
into
we
play,
never saw the big money, and there were still problems. It happens. I think that's just, everybody has egos. Everybody has a vision of what they want the show to be, what they want their future to be. And sometimes those coincide and sometimes those don't.
Right.
And it was even like me and Combat got into it first when, I got removed from the show, when a lot of people got removed from the show. One, because SoundCloud doesn't allow music like that. So, it wasn't like a DJ, but I was like, I was a personality too, dog. And he was like, well,
I'm a personality too, dog.
Yeah, he was like,
to plead your case.
Yeah, he was like, maybe not, and so.
No, what Reggie did was he said, maybe not, but here's a show.
Yes, and here's your own lane. And at first I was like, yo, I don't really like that. I wanted to do both. But as time went on, I started understanding the power and greatness of ForAllNerds and what Reggie had done for me by setting up this lane that I could just run wild in, that I could bring other people in, that I can allow to grow and prosper and become this massive entity that, we're still working on getting our own Spotify deal, but
we're still working on it, but we are our own entity. Like,
facts.
We have the Patreon popping crazy over the last few weeks or the last few months, especially because everyone has been jumping on the views from the 616 train. Obviously, we had our gaming editor. He's going to town. Like, as we record this right now, he is live streaming on our Twitch. Like, there's so many moving parts now, and it's a good thing. Like, this is what expansion, and this is what healthy, like a healthy growth feels like. We have Chica, shout out to you, love you, our social media editor, who she's going off now. She's somewhere on the social media sphere going off. Obviously, we have Luna, our expert sound engineer, who is making us sound incredible and crisp about now. And that's
we got Shure microphones thanks to our Patreon, patreon.com/ForAllNerds, where you can help and join and help us get these beautiful. You see this? You see that Shure? That ain't come from no, corporate deal. That came from y'all.
That came Patreon money. And not just beautiful, like quality-wise, because that's one thing y'all know. If you listen to shows from 4 years ago and listen to it now, completely different quality. And also, like again, because of the pandemic, we've all been home. So we needed to have the right setup. We needed to give you what you wanted. And also it matters, like, especially when we have people like special guests. I mean, you might hear about one this episode, but like when we have special guests, stuff like that, we want to come correct, and we want to be able to say, yo, we are a professional outlet, which we are, and this is how we do. We don't want to half step nothing. So that's why when you support us on Patreon, patreon.com/ForAllNerds, anything you can provide, whether you do the $1 or you do the 20 or whatever, all of that in aggregate absolutely helps, and it gets us to a better position, a higher position. That was also helping pre-pandemic when we had to do things like go to Comic-Con or fly out to go to a press junket. How you think we was paying for those expenses? Through y'all. And that's how we keep getting bigger and bigger. We need this access. We need to be in these spaces. We need to report in these spaces and be able to report on the goings-ons at these events. And we are there because of you. And that's why y'all, the fam, are so freaking important.
Can I tell y'all how I once spent like $1,500 to see Captain Marvel?
Oh, I remember that.
Because
press, and that was we were invited as press, but had to pay our own way.
Yeah, we were invited as press, but we had to pay our own way. And the junket was in Los Angeles, it was in Hollywood. It was beautiful. It was
at the Beverly Hilton.
Yeah, it was like at the Beverly Hilton. So I wanted to make sure I was there. So I got an Airbnb in the location near, not even that close, but nearby, and that shit hurt. That plane ticket hurt.
Now, I got lucky. I have lots of peoples in LA, so I was able to stay, but I still had to pay for the plane ticket. I had to do, like you said, a lot of shit that we've done in the past, and even till this day, we have to do out of pocket. We do it for the love, but we do it because we like what we produce. We like producing this content. We like producing podcasts, but also we want to do more. Like, again, we always talk about how we have the Twitch and stuff. We want to do original content too. We want to do skits. We want to do that, but we need the support. I do. I want to produce them. You don't have to be in them. You know how maybe I might throw you in there. I might make you act, Ben. I might make you flex your acting chops.
I grew up acting. You would be surprised.
Oh, okay. Well, we got to throw you in the hat.
Yeah, you would be surprised, folks. But
my point is, there's a lot of different creative lanes we want to take and directions we want to try, and a lot of them, not all, but a lot of them require some type of monies. And the thing is, when we do these, we like incorporating other people into the process, and we want to be fair. That's why we pay everyone we work with. We pay or we give something. There's some type of equitable or understanding or arrangement. So we can allow them to do their thing, but also we want to be fair. That's the one thing. You never going to hear someone say, I worked with ForAllNerds and they never paid me, or they never gave me my due, or they never helped me. You will never hear that. And if someone does say that, we need to have a conversation. But I guarantee you'll never hear that because we make it very plain about what the deal is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we ask and appreciate when y'all hit us on the Patreons, when y'all hit us on the PayPals, or whatever y'all do, because we want to make sure that we're transferring all this love and energy into something we can build and create with other people and grow, and also give them what they deserve. And also, like, we don't want to be the big corporations who are just using people. That's not what we want.
No. And so thank you to all the support. Like Tatiana said, patreon.com/ForAllNerds. Also, make sure you are following us so you can see us on twitch.tv/ForAllNerds, where we broadcast live every Monday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern for the time being. This actual one, well, I mean, you already know this, but we'll be talking about on social. Will probably come out a little bit later in the day on Thursday this week because of some other things. And we're working on moving the time around.
Yeah.
But in general, like we said, there is a lot of change, a lot of growth coming to ForAllNerds right now. And one thing is we have our Views from the 616, which is our MCU focused podcast, which you can catch every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Twitch and on our SoundCloud, iTunes, everywhere else. But we also have our main show, the legendary ForAllNerds show, where we have our GeekquentlyAskedQuestions, where we do comments I copped, where we talk about all the news of the week. And we feel like it's just a little bit too much of a catch-all right now.
Yeah.
So we're working on making some changes to the main show. You'll definitely F with it either way. It's going to be more of a deep dive into certain topics. It's kind of like a different format of Views from the 616 or the Castle Black of the Safe Negro Pod style brought to the main show of ForAllNerds. But don't worry, it's still going to be fire. You'll still get your Geekquently Asked Questions, your comics I copped. I just went into an Italian mobster accent right there for some reason I don't understand. But that's what happens, you know what I mean, on this show right here.
That's terrible, BenHaMeen.
I'm a Wario.
No. Okay, Elon. He was Elon Musk.
Oh,
was
he
Wario.
was ass is what he was. He was ass. Man, I mean,
he also
no
just
shots.
He also just crashed Bitcoin about an hour ago, just FYI. So.
Again?
Well, he crashed Dogecoin before, but he crashed Bitcoin this time.
Word? Oh, I got to check my account when we go to break then because, And on that note, let's take a quick break. Hopefully I don't come back, broke as fuck. But we do, oh my God, almost forgot to mention.
Yo, how could we almost forget, right?
Major key right here. Major key.
Big cloth talk.
Yes. Right after the break, we have a special guest. The one and only Malcolm Spellman is in the spaceship.
Do y'all know who that is? That is the showrunner and head writer of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You know, that little show that we have been covering for the last 7 weeks. So, just saying.
And we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Professor Brandon Obunu, a scientist who studies genetics and epidemics, and when I'm not doing long division, I'm listening to ForAllNerds.
Hey yo, this is Danny Lore, and this is Vida Ayala, and we are Twin Speaks. And when we are not writing Ironheart or James Bond, we are listening to ForAllNerds.
Hi, my name's Genevieve King, and I play Jackie Veda on Netflix's Lock and Key. When I'm not cooking up new recipes in my kitchen, then I'm listening to ForAllNerds.
Hey everybody, this is Peter Ramsey. I am the director of Rise of the Guardians and one of the directors of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I like to listen to ForAllNerds with Tatiana and the great BenHaMeen.
Hey, this is Hiro Kanagawa, actor and playwright. And you are listening to ForAllNerds all the way.
Hi, this is Lexi Alexander, and I'm a filmmaker and a writer. And when I'm not playing with my vintage toys and feeding myself and my dog, then I'm listening to ForAllNerds.
Hey, what's up? This is Ato Asado, and when I'm not on television and movie sets, I am listening to ForAllNerds.
No, you didn't. But people watching the show did. And that's what I kept trying to point out to people, is that it wasn't so simple as Carly's a good guy or John's a bad guy.
That is 100% true. We wanted every antagonist in our show thinks they're a hero, and we want their philosophy to be relatable. Like Thanos also thinks he's a hero, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But nobody can get on board with his philosophy, right?
Right.
We wanted all our characters to have worldviews and philosophies that people could get on board with. You don't know how many people 3-4 episodes in were texting me and emailing me saying, is Carly going to become a hero in the MCU? Because her views and representing people who feel powerless, who are displaced or whatever, right? They are rooted in righteousness. Look at Sam. Sam didn't want to give up on her. You know what I'm saying? But Ben did.
And what's up, y'all? And welcome back to the For All Nerds show. And oh my God.
You thought?
No, folks. No. Yes, we do have Malcolm Spellman in the chamber. Don't you worry. I mean, it's coming this Monday on Views from the 616 on twitch.tv/ForAllNerds. Make sure you're following twitch.tv/ForAllNerds, as well as For All Nerds on all socials, Instagram and Twitter @ForAllNerds. Because the time might change. We're still not, 100% if it's going to be that 1 p.m. or it's going to be our brand new time. You know what I mean? We might need to drop this on the new time to get everybody acclimated.
I mean, I've been seeing, like, we running polls, y'all, but I'm just seeing it's y'all still not helping, because it's just like all of the times are equal, like all the
No, that 5
equal.
p.m., 6 p.m. slot.
You must not have seen the second poll. The second poll, all of the times was equal when I checked about an hour ago. So I'm just like, it's not helpful, but y'all
I've seen a lot. Yeah.
Y'all really want to live stream? I mean, and of course, I mean, first of all, I think maybe we have to really be clear also, like the podcast, the audio is still coming out in the mornings as normal, but like the video part is what we're talking about. The live streams on Twitch. So y'all want us to do that like 5-6 o'clock at night? Like, and this is all Eastern time. Like, if that's really what y'all want, okay, cool. But like, why? And I'm just trying to understand. Like, what's that? If we're talking about 5 o'clock at night, what's that? That's like 11 o'clock at night UK for the UK listeners.
Oh, damn. We screwing them, right? Yeah, we are giving them the business on a Monday night.
That's why I like the idea of like a 3
yeah,
p.m.
3
like,
is
and I know for the people on the East Coast, y'all like, fam, I'm still at work, whatever. Fuck your job. Listen to us. I'm joking. No. But, I'm just trying to find a happy medium, y'all.
The other question we have is that Loki will be dropping on Wednesdays. Our Views from the 616 schedule is we normally drop that on what, Monday? Will y'all wait from Wednesday to Monday for our review? Yes, you will.
But is that yes, you would, but it's also that too long. Like, because not that we don't ride the wave of what other shows do. It's just, is that too long considering there's so much space in between when you watch a show, when you hear from us. Like right now, when shit was coming out on Fridays, you only got a three-day wait. And it made sense because it was the weekend. You was probably out kikiing and shit, so it didn't matter. But
no, you wasn't.
What about
out.
when
It
it's
was
in
pandemic.
the middle? Right. Now, what about if it's in the middle of the week? Then what? Meaning Wednesdays, like
the Fiends is gonna watch it on Wednesday. That's the thing.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, and then some people wait till the weekend. So I think Monday is still gonna be the day because we don't want to drop it on Friday and everybody going out getting faded. So we know that ain't nobody trying to listen to a podcast on a Friday night. So I think we just have to wait for Monday. Y'all just have to hold off.
And that's a two-headed monster, y'all. Like, y'all want us to put it later in the day, but then remember, if shit's coming out on Wednesday, we would have to, as BenHaMeen said, we would have to release it like Friday. So y'all want it, and y'all not.
No, we ain't releasing on Friday.
Shit. We're not. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't make sense, y'all. Y'all gonna be high as shit.
We gonna be there for that Monday when they recovering because the pandemic, everybody getting vaccinated, everybody gonna be partying this summer. So we gonna be there for that Monday. When you recovering, here you are, Views from the 616. We gonna talk this Loki.
Okay.
Hopefully, we'll figure it out. But what we do know is right now. Oh no! Before we get to that though, Let me just say, Malcolm Spellman said this is one of the best interviews he ever did, so you need to be there Monday. Oh my God.
We have the footage and the audio. So
yes.
Yeah.
Best.
We did that.
I mean, we did that. What else do you expect? But, you might have seen him on some other shows recently. But did he tell them that was one of the best interviews he ever did? I doubt it. Anyway, right now, it is time for one of my favorite segments. The Geekquently Asked Questions. The guac is extra. Where we answer any and all questions from our listeners. You can hit us up, contact@forallnerds.com, or you can hit us on the Twitters, the Instagrams, @ForAllNerds. It don't matter what your question's about, geek related or nah. Hit us up, and we will give you an answer. Let's go. What do we have up first tonight?
Up first comes from Picture Me Rolling. What's up, y'all? Just want to say that I'm glad that my favorite podcast got co-hosts that respect each other. Yeah. All right, let me get my AKAs out the way. LOL. So Picture Me Rolling, AKA Kanye Westeros. That's solid.
Solid.
AKA Eric Trillmonger. We remember that one. That's solid.
Yeah.
AKA Funky Cold Moderna.
Not a big fan of the vaccine AKAs, but yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, here's another, AKA Pfizer Lord Zuko.
Does that make sense?
Instead of Fire Lord.
Oh no,
Pfizer Lord.
No. Sorry. Yeah, no.
AKA this last one I really like. Yeah. Gullah Gullah Wallin. Instead of Gullah Gullah Island.
Okay. I always thought it was just the Gullah Islands. I never knew it was Gullah Gullas.
The show it used to be on like Nickelodeon, some shit like that.
Word, they had a show. Wow.
You don't know what Gullah Gullah Island is?
No, I know what Gullah Island is. I know the real Gullah Island. Yeah.
What that's from is the show. I think it was on Nickelodeon, whatever. But it was old school shit. Fucking like, what was it, mid-late 90s or something like that? And it was literally a concept of like this married couple living on the actual Gullah Island. But
were they black?
They were black, yeah. It was black cast, but they lived with puppets, and like the puppets, like it was like Sesame Street, but for the Geechee people. Like it was cool.
Is Geechee not? I'm always wary about them words because I never know which was like insulting, Like coolie, I've been told is not the word to use.
That I know you're not supposed to use. But
I've been called coolie, so
and again, it could have evolved, and if it did, apologies. I just know because my grandmother and her people are from Gullah area, so they do use both Gullah and Geechee. So
all right,
yeah. But what you just said is definitely a problem. So whatever.
Yeah, well, I've definitely been called that one too. So
wow,
yeah,
that's not
back
good.
at Howard, like they're like, you got that hair. And they said the word.
I mean, that's usually the reason when I've heard it. That's what I've heard.
Yep.
But, wow.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, I do thanks. I didn't know how ridiculous it was what they were just saying to me.
No.
You got that? Yeah.
Anyway, let's get to the question.
It's my favorite family, the niggers.
Oh, that's from Dave Chappelle, the niggers.
Yeah.
All right. Why didn't I know that it was this hard to keep my mouth shut about the future of Invincible? DJ BenHaMeen put us on early, and I know what Thanos meant when he said, I too have been cursed with knowledge. People making all these wrong takes about what they think is going to happen in the future of the show, and I got to opt out of the conversation because I don't want to spill the beans. This is probably how it felt for folks who read Game of Thrones before the show. How do you not accidentally ruin it for folks?
It's easy.
Just don't say shit. Just don't say shit.
I read and I fully understand and feel you on this because I read this so long ago and I know it like back and forwards. Like I've read it so many times that. And even you, Tatiana, you said stuff about Invincible, and I'm like, okay.
I have offline conversations with Ben about it, and then he'd be like you said, he'd be like, okay, or whatever. But like, I've also told him, don't say shit to me.
Yeah, I don't tell her shit. I'll just be like, well, that's cool that you feel that way, but it's going to be different. That's what I'll usually say. It's going to be different in the future.
Yes,
that's
stuff he keeps saying.
Yeah, I'll be like, how you feel about this person is going to change,
And BenHaMeen generally has the frame of mind not to say too much anyway.
Yeah.
But I'll also yell all day long, don't say shit to me, don't say shit. And he'd be like, okay. But to them, as he just said, the most he'll be like, it's okay, it might be different than what you think, and then leave it there.
And then the thing about Invincible is there's so much stuff like I can say Anstrom Levy is a character you haven't met yet, but because you haven't even met him, I can't even begin to tell you where that fucking where his route and his arc is going to go because you don't know anything about this character yet. So it's like, and that affects so much. And then I could say, or like there's major stuff that's been hinted at. And I talked about that on our patreon.com/ForAllNerds exclusive review, which you can only get on Patreon, the exclusive review of Invincible. So make sure you're a patron over there, patreon.com/ForAllNerds. But like I talked about in Invincible, it's a book, and as the series has shown, that will change so rapidly that it's really tough for me to even discuss things because there's been little hints at shit, but it's gonna go in such a far direction, that it's like I can't even begin to tell you because you haven't even begun that journey yet. So you don't even know where, it's gonna. I could, like, if I'd spoil stuff, it might be spoiling in chapter 3 or 4, and I'm talking chapter 50,
Yeah. And so as far as and I know what you mean, picture me rolling. You said, how do you not accidentally? Watch your mouth.
Yeah, just don't talk about it like that, man. It's easy.
Watch your mouth. Don't you may want to. You have to temper yourself. Like if you decide you want to get into these conversations, really watch what you say and hold back, fall back, because it's just like you can't get too riled up or too into it because, and to your point, you may accidentally say something you're not supposed to. So just be careful.
And I didn't even like that when the series ended, people who read it already and they were hitting me and they were like, oh, I mean, when you're like, yo, you said this was it. I'm like, yeah, but then like when people are like, I mean, this isn't really giving it away, but I just don't want people to start rolling down that road, right? Because like a character Conquest, he appears in one of the shots in the last episode. And people were tweeting me immediately like, yo, you saw Conquest? And I'm like, you ain't have to say his name. Of course I saw the Negro, but like some people don't know him yet. So like let them learn it just like you learned it. That's what I always try and say, man. Like, remember how dope it was for you to read this book, Invincible? Let it be that way for people who watch the show.
Give us the grace of discovery.
Yeah.
It really matters.
Yep.
And there's a second question rather.
Yep.
If you can pick any movie or movies to take back to the 1950s to blow people's minds away, what movies and why? A friend of mine asked me this, and he chose Black Panther to show people that the future is Black excellence.
Nigga, there's no other answer.
I chose Jurassic Park, and I'll tell them it's all real life since they don't know what CGI is.
Nigga, what type of violence did you wake up choosing?
Right. It's hilarious, but fucked up. Yeah, I feel like Black Panther is the answer, but
Hollywood Shuffle.
There are others. Yes, Ben, I mean Hollywood Shuffle. I would take back the first Matrix movie for sure. Because you talking about blow people's minds and fuck people up.
Y'all are just choosing fire. No, it's the 1950s.
I want to fuck people up because when I read blow people's minds away, I'm thinking fuck you up.
So y'all just want to get burned at the stake, is what you're telling me.
1950s, not 1700s, witches and Salem.
1950s, all right, dragged behind the truck, something. They gonna do something dirty to your ass.
You ain't doing shit to me because if I could go back to 1950s, I'm getting the fuck out of there too. I'm gonna be like Cable in that bitch. I'm gonna be like Cable in that bitch. Be like, nope. Blue,
you gonna show body slide by one. So you just trying to show up with your DVD player, your new TV, and you gonna pop in Matrix and be like, let me fuck y'all head up, and then bloop.
Then dip the fuck out. Hell yeah. Would that fuck up the entire timeline?
Everything.
Absolutely.
Ruined. Absolutely ruined.
But if we imagine that you can do this and not fuck up a timeline, yeah, I would pick shit like The Matrix. I pick shit like Black Panther. I would obviously pick things that feature Black people doing different things that's not slavery related. Lovecraft Country, or even stuff that would be cool because that's supposed to take place in that time period, right? Yep. So,
I'd be like, this is how you do it. Choke them out.
Right. Now that's a show, but it's not a movie, but still.
Choke them out. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, I would genuinely bring them. And then again, 1950s, they had like War of the Worlds and shit like that, right? So they understand science fiction and shit.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When Orson Welles played War of the Worlds on the radio, I want to say the 1920s, people freaked the fuck out. So if you show up with the Matrix when niggas is watching black and white TV and you show up, your ass better hope your time travel gets you up out of there.
You know what I should show up with to really fuck their heads up? WandaVision.
Oh, no, that's something they wouldn't even understand it because
that's the point.
They're still on the first, they're still on black and white TV. Like they be like, "What? This color?" Like, no, your ass better, you better be time sliding up out of there.
Because that show changes so many genres and so many colors. And
it wouldn't even make no sense to them, dog. That's what I'm saying.
This shit barely made sense to us when we first started watching.
No sense to them, none, dog. They would lose.
But what makes you think Matrix makes sense? My point is, none of this is going to make sense because first of all of this employs technology. Like when you mentioned CGI, picture me rolling. most 90% of it employs shit that has never, rather maybe not been invented, or maybe it has been invented, but it's so low level, it's not where it is now.
It has not been invented.
Right. I'm talking about every aspect of the film. So it could be things in it that have been used for decades and it just got better.
Film. That's it.
Maybe, but my point stands that no matter what you show, it's gonna be like, nigga, what? Like, just even the way, like the fact that it's high def.
Yeah, all
there
of
was
that.
no motherfucking high def. They're like, why does it look like that? Can their eyes adjust to it? I don't know.
Like I say, this is not a good. This all ends in your demise unless you get up out of
not
here.
Not me. So I'm hitting that blue.
Nah, I'm passing on this one. Whenever it's time travel back to the 1950s,
but you're right.
I'm
I wake up and choose violence every day.
Yeah, I'm passing. I'm chilling. I'm like, yeah. Oh, time machine to the future with it. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
The next question comes.
I'm not going back.
Next question comes from Statica Shakur, aka Attack on Trifling. This next one I don't understand. Plot
twist out. Like, plot twist.
Plot twist out like a twist out?
Yes.
Oh, plot twist out. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Next,
I get it.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Next up.
And Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy.
There we go.
Poison Ivy. I like that.
Yes.
All right. Question. Knowing what you know now, if you had a choice, would you rather have been blipped out of existence or remain on Earth for those 5 years? For your context, post-Endgame, as I've watched projects that Marvel has put out, I've paid close attention to how some characters speak about those who were snapped/blipped. It's pretty subtle, but for example, Wayward Hayward says, those who left, quote unquote, and others have used language like, quote, when you were gone. I'm not sure if it's intentional, but the language used sometimes makes it sound like the folks had a choice. I'd probably be nitpicky, but it got me thinking, which would I choose now that I've seen Spider-Man, WandaVision, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Thanks. BenHaMeen, what would you do?
The people did not have a choice. Yeah, they just got blipped out. I would definitely not be blipped.
Not be blipped. So you would rather stay with Carly and the Flag Smashers?
Yes. Nigga, you don't know if you're coming back. There ain't no, like.
Man, here's my thing: is being blipped like the way Peter Parker would show it is akin to dying, and it's just like, and then if you're talking about dying, everyone has a different concept of what it means to die, right?
Yep.
Do you die and that's the end of everything? There's complete darkness, like you have no understanding or recollection, like you just cease to exist. Or is it a death like you're dead and you go to heaven and you have a soul and all this other stuff? Like, it depends on your concept of death and if that pretends to death. Because if you're talking about when you die, that's it, it's ashes to ashes, then all right, that's going to happen anyways, as a human. So what is there to fear if you're not there to fear? Does that make any sense? Like,
it made sense, but yeah, that's why I'm gonna go with
there is
live.
no more. If you have that concept of death, that means there is no existence. So you're not gonna have so you may be scared going out if you're Peter and you're able to even fucking sense it. And that's the other thing. Most humans couldn't even sense it. It just happened.
Yeah.
Just like right now we podcasting and I just turn to I get infinity faded. BenHaMeen will see some dead leaves fly away, and I wouldn't have no concept that I just got faded.
All right, see, in that instance, I'd rather be faded.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
because I don't want to watch half of the world get faded and then have to.
And that's the thing.
But you know what I mean? It might not be that bad in the long run.
I think with what you said, just touched on what I think is my answer. I don't know if I can handle, because remember, the blip means half of all life on this planet.
Yep.
That means more than likely someone or someone's in your family is going, and you may or may. And you 100%. May or may not experience it firsthand.
Nope.
Like, imagine you're in the room with all your family, including your dog, and your dog starts infinity fading away, and then your uncle starts fading away. Like, I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all. Like, and y'all got to sit there and watch that. And that's what I'm saying. Could you, and I don't want to say strong because it's not about strength, could you accept that? Because not only is that just beyond the pale of what you understand about death, you've never experienced anything like that. So with what you just said, BenHaMeen, that made me think, you know what? I think I'd rather be blipped because I'm not going to know what's happening. I'm not Peter Parker. I don't have Spidey sense. I'm not going to know what's happened or has happened. It's done and people's going to be sad and all this other stuff. But I mean, I'm gone. My thing is, if you think about it in the typical concept of death, the westernized concept of death, what's the difference from when you naturally die when you old or if you have a disease? Like, it's going to happen.
Yes, but
and people are gonna be sad on that stuff, but you technically may not have concept that it's happening. So what's the difference? I would rather have been blipped.
No, not me. I'm gonna go back to my original and say yes, because life matters to me, And
life
like,
absolutely matters, but that's not what I'm saying here. I'm not
No,
saying
but
life
see, I
don't
know-
matter.
yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. In this instance, to me, it does. Like, I don't want to be one. I always think. KRS-One has this song. KRS-One has this song. Oh yeah, where he says it's so very important that you live. And it's like things, and he says things will turn around. And it's like that's my mentality that I always keep. Like, sure, half of the world is gone, but it's still important for people to push on. It's like niggas die every day, B. I got to keep going. So, nah.
I could use that same argument to say niggas die every day, B, get blip.
Nah, but see, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Get blipped.
Nah.
You don't go anyways.
Nah.
Go with some Thanos snap. But again, this is in the context of this question, right?
Yep.
You said if I had to choose rather, like I would if I had to choose, I would want to be alive, but also that thought of having to watch other people I love fade away. I don't know if I can handle that.
Yeah,
It's one thing for someone to die because they've had a disease or they're suffering or they're old or whatever. It's stuff that you're able to. Sometimes it happens suddenly. Sometimes you're able to build up to it, but it's all chance, right? To know that someone's gonna again the Rafiki stuff, the Rafiki dead leaves show up instead of the person. Like
I want to see it.
I don't want to. You want to see that? I don't want to see that.
I want to see it.
I don't want to. No, I don't want to see that.
Like I said, I like life, and I don't know what death is like, so I'd rather go with life. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't know what death was like, period. Unless you believe, again, this is all your concept of what death is. Unless you believe, you're going to pass on, you're going to be able to see everything. You're going to.
I believe that your, energy can't be created or destroyed, and so there is more to this life than just this. It's just one short, this is just one short like part of life. This is not all life. Death is just a door to me. But I don't. But at the same time, I want to enjoy this part of life while I can, and I'd like to see what happens after that blip. It'd be interesting.
Niggas get blipped every day, B.
Yeah.
All right, next question. This one comes from Shep, a.k.a. H. Patty Swaggy, a.k.a. Manny Fresh Destiny. That is a play on Patty Swag, who was the president of HU during the old Howard days. Patrick Swaggart, yes, the menace himself. This must be Jay Shep, our friend from HU.
Oh,
and his other AKA is AKA Manny Fresh Destiny.
I was like thinking manifest destiny.
Manifest destiny.
Okay,
yes.
actually, that's trying to fire.
That's fire. That's why I just laughed because you were like, it just wasn't clicking.
Because I got what you were saying, but I was like, did he get it right? And I'm like, oh no, he
got it right.
Yeah, that's pretty fire.
It's a riff off of Manifest Destiny.
Yeah,
Manifest Destiny or Manny Fresh Destiny. Okay.
Yeah.
The question goes, what up, fam? My bad if this question has been asked before, but what Marvel storyline do you want to see on the big or small screen? What Marvel storyline do you not want to see? And why is it the Clone Saga? Love what y'all do.
I've never read all of the Clone Saga, so it's like, that's one of those things where people will diss it all the time, and there's so much trash out there in comic books. I don't think it's like, that deep. And there's not one that I would not want to see. I want to see it all. Give it all
I'm
to
with
me.
you. Also, because there's so many stories that, again, BenHaMeen is the avid comic books head. He's the one who has all the years of knowledge. I don't. So I could even, besides stuff I may pick up now, and really the stuff I pick up now is more indie comics. And like, I'll go back and read old shit when like BenHaMeen gives me he says, hey, yo, you need to pick this up or check it out. Like when he told me to check out Infinity War. Like way back when like that shit is the funniest fucking thing, bro. Yo, the way that they play Nebula, bro, that shit is so funny to me. Oh my God. And even like sometimes like y'all be doing it. Y'all be posting these old ass panels from like, and this is DC Comics, but like recently someone posted these old panels from a Supergirl or Superman comic when Supergirl first show up. That nigga Superman trife as fuck because his homegirl, his only cousin, the only living other person from his race that he know of from Krypton shows up. And you know what this nigga say to her? Oh, bet. You cannot live with me. Let me take you to this orphanage. And if your powers manifest, the powers manifest. He goes, oh, you got powers too? Bet. Go practice on that shit and you can stay in this orphanage. I'll holler at you. Like, that's what that nigga said. And if you think I'm lying, read that panel.
But that's what I was trying to explain to y'all. That is typical Golden Age Superman. Like
that's how they Barry wrote shit like, oh,
steady. There is a blog dedicated to Superman as a dickery. That's like minor to how he used to act. He would just always. It was just like, I need a solution. Okay, fuck whatever y'all feeling.
Fuck whatever's going on right now.
Yeah, here's the solution. You know what I mean? And that was Superman.
Oh, you my cousin. Oh, we got the same uncle. Oh, facts.
Orphanage.
Here's his orphanage right here.
But back to the question, I would like to see. I mean, the one that everyone talks about is Secret Wars, and there's several versions of Secret Wars in Marvel. There was a recent one done by Hickman that was incredible. I mean, what am I talking about? House of X, Powers of X. That is what I want to see.
Yeah, House of X.
That is what I want to see from Marvel. That I am just, the further along this Reign of X storyline that they're in right now goes, just the more difficult I imagine for them to bring it to the MCU. But I'm still holding out hope, because it is just so wild. And I really feel like it's going to end badly for the X-Men within the next year anyway. So I think the status quo is going to change from this. So we'll see what happens. But that is, my God, like if they did like a Game of Thrones type, long 5-season series on House of X,
that would be sick.
Sick. It'd be over. Yeah.
Okay, next question comes from Kai Jr. And they write in parentheses, in hindsight, Kaiju would have been a great nickname growing up. It would have. That would have been big flames. That could have been your rap name. All right. Their AKA I really like is Wrath of Farrakhan. It's so trifling. I love it. I love it.
All right.
Question. Good day, fam. My silly question is as follows. The Last Emperor released the song Secret Wars Part 1 and Part 2, where he plays hip-hop artists against well-known comic book characters. I don't know who the Last Emperor is. You need to help me.
It's Fire.
What
Fire
hip-hop
rapper
matchup would you like to see in a hypothetical Part 3? The easiest example being Run the Jewels versus Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Much love.
Yeah, I could see that. I really cannot. I love The Last Emperor Secret Wars Part 1 and 2, but I really...
Is that an album or the name of a rapper?
No. The Last Emperor is a rapper. Late 90s, early 2000s, I want to say, more of a freestyle artist. And they had this song Secret Wars. I never actually heard Part 2, but Secret Wars Part 1, where it was like, it was like an imaginary story where you put a bunch of rappers battling a bunch of comic book dudes. It was cute. It was dope at the time. I don't know, and I really have no suggestions for this answer, but what I do have is the rapper Inspector Deck under his AKA Czarface. Czarface and MF Doom just released an album last Friday. It's MF Doom's first album after his untimely demise. So it's Czarface and MF Doom, and they have a song on there called This Is Canon Now. And it is Czarface, aka Inspector Deck, going the fuck off about comics and talk about how because he doesn't have powers, he has to rob superheroes for their powers. Yo, go listen to it on, whatever. I've been bumping this shit over and over again since it dropped. This is Canon Now by Czarface and MF Doom. I mean, you want to talk, it's like Secret Wars Part 1 and 2, like for a new age. Like at one point he's like, yo, let me get Kevin Feige on the phone, and it's like someone picks up Kevin, and then he's like, before I finish this rhyme, you better have the ill-ass Fantastic Four movie with Thing, Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. He's like, them other ones was whack, we need some hot shit. But the whole rhyme is so ill, like he's talking about stealing powers and stuff from all these different characters. Go check that. That's my suggestion. Sorry if that's not really the answer you were looking for, but, there you go.
All right. And I have nothing to contribute, so I'm moving on.
Yeah.
The last question comes from our social media manager, Chica. She has AKAs, but they're more monikers as opposed to play on words.
Okay.
So Chica's AKAs are Chica, AKA the Ebo Nerdette.
Okay.
AKA champion of I'ma try rhetoric. Meaning she's going to, like, if you ask her to do something, she's like, I'ma try. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'ma try. AKA Lady of Timeline Chaos and Destruction.
Facts.
Absolutely. That's you. AKA Grogu Manga because she's an old baby and she likes to read. And AKA Miss Zero to War real quick because y'all ain't finna disrespect my peeps and think there isn't at least one vote in HQ to drag y'all through the MCU and back. This is facts. Chica does not play that shit. Don't y'all play us because she gonna drag you up and down the timeline with the quickness. So
yep.
There it is. Her question goes, I've got questions for Guac. Once HBO actually drops these Game of Thrones prequels, will Castle Black come back?
You know it.
You freaking know it. Now, will we come back for every single last prequel? No.
Probably not.
Probably not.
But that next one, that Dragons joint,
that's just, yes.
Yeah, they got black people up in Westeros. Like, we are here for it.
Are y'all even following the Castle Black pod account on Twitter, which you absolutely should be, because it's been active.
Mm-hmm. There's been a lot going on.
I've been seeing the googly eyes coming out their account and sharing pictures and stuff, so it's active.
Yep.
Next question, Ben, what is your favorite song right now?
Ooh, that's a good one. Damn, man, I listen to a lot of music. That This Is Canon Now that I just mentioned I was definitely bumping the living life out of that. Malcolm Spellman actually, and I just found out of this artist while doing research. I'm not sure if he still is, but at one point he was the manager for this artist, Fantastic Negrito. Okay. So I went and listened to Fantastic Negrito's music, and that Negrito is fuego. Oh my God, I was so mad. He's like if y'all know about Cody Chestnut.
Yes.
He's like in that Cody Chestnut, that Prince derivative funk, rock, black people, soul, the shit that we created, but we don't get enough credit for, and that, people like him are still doing, and it is dope, yo. He had this song, like, Blame the Bad Guy, or no, Bad Guy Necessity is the name of the tune. And I was like, yo, he should have used this for John Walker's entrance, because it's about like, oh, you need a bad guy, well, I'm here for it. Ooh. That's the name of the song. Everybody needs a bad guy, bad guy necessity. Everybody needs somebody to blame. So I'll be here for it. So yeah, Fantastic Negrito. As always, Toby Inigwe. He got this joint
Big
with his
Toby, yes.
Yeah, he got the joint with his wife, Eat, that I play with Fat, that I play over and over again. Like, I play Eat so much, goddamn much. So yeah, any Toby Inigwe, that's just like a constant in my life right now.
Yes. The next question, she writes, Tati, do you see yourself writing another piece for Marvel Voices? Absolutely. If they will have me, I will be there.
Yep.
If y'all remember, last year, it was really only a year ago, but last year I wrote an essay piece regarding tech in the Marvel universe, particularly about Black women in tech and how that's related and also affects, in some ways, the real world. So make sure if you haven't read that you pick that up. I don't know. I feel like you can still get Marvel Voices issue 1. That's Marvel Voices Legacy. Marvel Voices issue 1 had like 5 different variant covers or whatever. I'm sure you can probably get it now. You can also read my essay on Marvel.com. For the lucky people who showed up to Anyone Comics last year, we all were there. Not every single last author, but damn near all the authors and some of the and a lot of the illustrators, we were all there. We signed copies. So if you're one of the lucky ones, you have a copy signed by me and others. That said, yes, I would absolutely do that. I said all of that long-winded stuff to say I would like to, if possible, write an actual story and not just an essay. So if I can actually write or even co-write an actual comic story that shows up in the book, and it gets like drawn by like, I'm trying to think of a name, like Kari Randolph or something like that. Like, it would be really cool.
Okay. I mean, it'll really happen. Cool. Let's just say it will happen. It will happen.
I'm gonna put that out in the universe. It will happen. I'm game, and maybe I need to get to writing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So she was just saying, the last part she said was that she was inspired by Luna to drop her own AKA list. So thank you so much, Chica. We appreciate you. Our whole crew, except for Uncolored Page, have dropped their own AKAs. We're gonna get him next.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we need to get Chica and Luna on this show.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
If y'all want to be, I know sometimes people who are behind the scenes like, don't put me in front, but if I think we're gonna have to drag y'all out. So
facts.
That is it for the guac. Thank y'all so much for the questions. We love it. Make sure y'all send us questions about geek and pop culture or anything in your life or any questions you have for us. We love you. Hit us up, contact@forallnerds.com on the emails. If you want some privacy, you have something longer, you can always hit us up on ForAllNerds on our social medias. We always do our guac posts every week, generally always do it. And you can ask your questions. And lastly, if you are a patron of ForAllNerds patreon.com/ForAllNerds specifically, doesn't matter what tier you on, you get guaranteed guac questions. So ask them and we shall answer.
Yes, and I was looking for another book to pull out right now for my next segment. Comic Psych. That's right, Comic Psych Cop, where we talk about all the different comic books that we've been copping, that we've been buying, that we've been reading. Thank you to everyone who's been posting them. Shout out to that person, I cannot remember your @name right now, who posted the image of this comic book where T'Challa was letting the T'Chopper go on Spider-Man.
Yo, was he like shooting glass shards?
I have never seen that book. I did not know that T'Challa ever let go with the T'Chopper.
BenHaMeen says that and ats me.
Yeah,
Tags me on the page, but I was dying when I saw that.
Someone had to see that joke. Come on now.
Yeah, I was
T'Challa let loose the T'Chopper. So shout outs to anyone who posts Comics I Cop. Use the hashtag Comics I Copped on Twitter, on Instagram. Thank you for all that, for all the support, all the love, showing what you've been reading, what you've been buying, all that great stuff. As always, shout outs to my local comic book store, Anyone Comics in Brooklyn, for holding me down every week. I don't have anything new this week because I've not been into Anyone yet, but out this week is the latest issue of Children of the Atom. This is Children of the Atom #1 right here.
Yes, we were talking about that before.
Yeah, we talked about this last week. The latest issue is #3 by Vita Ayala and Bernard Chang. Amazing writer, friend of the show. Bernard is an amazing artist. We need to have him on the show at some point.
Absolutely.
Very fire artist. I love Bernard. And, the mystery of who these children are and how they relate to the X-Men continues to grow and deepen. There is some big revelations in issue 3. I already got to read it. It is like, I still don't know what the F's going on, Vita. I'm about to have to DM you and ask you a lot of questions because
and Vita's gonna be like, no,
you get nothing.
I'm really, just from the art itself, I'm really interested in that Gambit character. Is that a black woman?
It is a black woman, and she goes through some stuff in this issue.
I'm really interested in Gambit character because Gambit's one of my favorite X-Men just ever.
Well, she goes
to
through...
combine that character and now and flip it, like I'm all about it.
Well, like I said, she goes through it in this issue. So definitely catch up on Children of the Atom. It's on the 3rd issue right now. Also this week from the X-Men camp, X-Core #1 dropped, which is exploring the X-Men and how they're turning into a corporation, basically. How the island of Krakoa is, selling and buying and doing all this other stuff. I wasn't really
capitalism.
Basically capitalism, mutant capitalism. I really wasn't blown away by the first issue so far. It features Angel as the leader of X-Corps and this other character, Monet, who is one of my favorite X-Men characters. She is a badass in every shape, form. But like I said, I wasn't blown away by that first issue. But I'm going to keep with it because it's got Angel, it's got Monet, and it's got Multiple Man. I've also finally caught up on X Factor by Leah Williams. That shit is fire, yo. Shout out to Leah, yo. She killed it with this series. X Factor is about to end on issue 10, and she's going to do another series in the X-Men world. So shout out to them. Actually, I don't even know if they're identified as she. So shout out to Leah. Very dope. At first I wasn't sure about that X Factor, but it's fire. And it's only a 10-issue run. So a dope little 10 issues if you just want to get into something in the Marvel and the X-Men. And last but not least, I just want to shout this book out again because we shouted out last week, but I just want to make sure y'all are up on this motherfucker because it's that good. The Other History of the DC Universe, trying to get y'all a shot of these beautiful covers right here.
Love it.
Yeah, they are just
Is that
amazing.
Bumblebee on the left?
Yep, that's the Bumblebee and what's his name? Gabriel. What is his name? I cannot. Mal.
I love when Black people are drawn nicely and expressively like that. That's really, it's just beautiful.
Well, The Other History of the DC Universe is written by John Ridley with amazing art by Giuseppe Camuncoli. I think I probably butchered your name. Sorry about that, fam. But
it sounds like a butcher.
Yeah, each issue covers either one character or a set of characters as in this. This is Mal, Gabriel, and what's her name? Bumblebee?
Bumblebee.
Yeah. Well, they're a married couple, and so this covers their entire history as they went through, because they were part of the Young Teen Titans, then they went through other teams. They're part of the Outsiders with Batman, all kind of different stuff. And so it just covers their entire history, and it also relates it to real world events. And it's just an ill thing because it's they narrate each issue. So the latest issue, which I haven't got to read yet, features Katana, So it's going to get into some of the stuff, that Japanese characters have to deal with, coming up. I think Katana's one of the first Japanese heroes in the DC universe. Just like the first issue was about Black Lightning and how he was the first Black hero in the DC universe and how it felt as a Black man to be the first Black superhero.
They keeping it real.
Yeah, so it's a great series. John really is killing it. I just highly recommend it to anyone, especially if you're one of the people like me. Like I'm a Marvel head first, and then I know some DC stuff. I mean, I know a lot of DC shit just because I know a lot of comics, but I don't know all the little details. And so this is a great way to catch you up on like a lot of the history of the DC universe while also showing it to you from a very Black or very people of color perspective. And it's just an ill-ass take. And I hope this book gets all the awards, all the recognition it deserves. The Other History of the DC Universe. It's magazine size. They're, big giant ass books.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Huge.
They're dope. They're amazing. Get you some.
Excellent comments I caught, BenHaMeen.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who is listening. Before we go, I just want to do one final shout out. Shout outs to Dean Felicia Rashad. The Felicia Rashad has been announced officially as our new dean of the newly reestablished College of Fine Arts at the Howard University, the real HU.
HU?
You know?